What is up, guys? It's your girl Antoinette, and today we're gonna do writer versus AI. Welcome back, or welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome to me. I am a writer. I've been a writer since about first grade, and I've been officially publishing my own things since I was 16 years old. I'm 26 right now. I've been doing fan fiction mostly. So if you are able to find my user account on fanfiction or AO3, you are a good detective. You need to work for the FBI. But anyway, I've been publishing, I've been writing for a very long time, so those are my credentials. Hopefully in the near future I will be a screenwriter, and I've been writing my first script for about 3 years now, on and off, and it shouldn't take that long, but also it should. But either way it goes, I've been writing. We all know what ChatGPT is. It's an artificial intelligence machine type thing where you can basically put any prompt, anything into it, and it spits it back out, information or a story or anything you basically want it to do. Sometimes some versions of it has pictures, and I wanted to put that to the test. I cannot take full credit for this video idea. Michaela Lizak is a really good YouTuber who did this video talking about the writer's strike and AI and whether or not AI would be taking over for Hollywood screenwriters, and she really did a good job on that. So I wanted to test it against my own writing skills, simply because I am kind of an amateur but not. I just wanted to see what I could come up with versus what ChatGPT/AI could come up with. So I'm going to give ChatGPT 3 prompts. I'm going to write from the prompt also and give myself like a 10-minute timer and then time to revise, because ChatGPT is a computer. It doesn't really make mistakes in that sense, like grammar and things like that. I'm going to give it that, and then we're going to see what I come up with versus what ChatGPT comes up with, and you guys can tell me in the comments which one is better or which one has more feeling. And those are a few things that I'm looking for. Since ChatGPT is a computer, it sometimes does not have the feeling or the emotions that comes with human writing. It's writing, and it writes quite well, but it doesn't have the substance sometimes that what you would expect from a really good writer to have in their stories, or the elements that they would have in whatever they created. So it's going to be human innovation versus computer. So we're going to go ahead and get right into this. I have my handy dandy notebook, my laptop with all of my stickers. I will give you excerpts and things from ChatGPT as it types it, and I will give you mine. So let me go ahead and open that up. I also need my glasses. I need my glasses because I can't see this far on the computer, and I really don't want to be able to see what ChatGPT. Let me get Google Docs open. Okay, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT, can you write a scene based on this one-liner? Turn on the timer, so I have 10 minutes. And the prompt is, dear reader, I wish I could tell you that it ends well. So that is the one line that I have to write something off of. So let's go ahead. Dear reader, I wish I could tell you that it ends well. I think this is going well, and I still have 4 minutes on the clock, so we're gonna keep going. And like I said, I'm gonna read this back to y'all because I'm really having fun with this. Okay, 17 seconds on the clock. I'm gonna leave it right there. And you know what? I'm not gonna edit it. I'm not gonna edit it. I'm gonna leave it as it is. So first we're gonna read ChatGPT's. Again, the prompt is one opening line. It says, dear reader, I wish I could tell you that it ends well. It says, dear reader, I wish I could tell you that it ends well. The rain poured relentlessly, casting a gloomy shadow over the cityscape. In a dimly lit room, a lone figure sat hunched over a desk cluttered with maps, photographs, and worn out notebooks. The air was thick with tension, and the only sound that echoed was the rhythmic tapping of raindrops against the window. Detective Olivia Hayes sighed as she traced her finger along the edge of an old case file. Okay. The room felt heavy with the weight of unresolved mysteries, and each photograph on the wall seemed to hold a silent plea for justice. The cold, harsh reality of her profession weighed on her shoulders, and the opening line of her latest letter to a victim's family lingered in her mind. As she sipped on a lukewarm cup of coffee, Olivia's eyes met the framed picture of her partner, Detective Daniel Rodriguez, who had been missing for weeks. The case had taken a toll on her, both professionally and personally. She couldn't escape the haunting feeling that this investigation was leading her down a path with uncertain destination. The city buzzed with life, oblivious to the struggles within the walls of the precinct. Olivia clenched her fists, determined to unravel the web of secrets that had entangled her partner's disappearance. The room's fluorescent lights flickered intermittently, casting eerie shadows that seemed to dance along with Olivia's inner turmoil. Turmoil? I can't read. I'm sorry. Her phone rang, shattering the silence. With a deep breath, Olivia answered. Detective Hayes, a distorted voice on the other end, deserved a chilling, what? Oh my god, English. A distorted voice on the other end delivered a chilling message. You're getting too close, detective. You should stop digging if you know what's good for you. Okay. They decided to go the mystery route. The threat hung in the air like a storm cloud, but instead of retreating, Olivia's resolve strengthened. She glanced at the opening lines of her letter once more, a bitter acknowledgement that not all stories have a happy ending. Yet in that very acknowledgement, she found the determination to rewrite the narrative and bring justice to those who deserved it. As the rain continued to beat against the window, Detective Olivia Hayes prepared to face the storm that awaited her outside. A storm of deception, betrayal, and the relentless pursuit of truth. I kind of like it. I don't find any problems with it, really. I think that it's definitely a little more on the nose. It would probably make for a good opening for a book, but I'm not sure. I don't have any problems with that. And then we're gonna go to mine. Again, my writing is still kind of like amateur. You know what I'm saying? So the opening line again is, "Dear reader, I wish I could tell you that it all ends well." And here's my version. Who did this? A sharp, streaky, angry voice bellowed from somewhere in the cafeteria. The hustle and bustle of the busy auditorium came to a slow halt as all eyes were now on the girl with tomato sauce dripping from her entire body as if she were Carrie reincarnated. I snickered from my seat on the bench with a few of my friends. We nudged each other and shared giggles as Susie was approached by the waiting staff. Her entire outfit was ruined, and I'm so glad that I was able to get her back. Dear reader, I wish I can tell you that it ends well. The moment I decided to prank Susie C during the summer camp wasn't my brightest idea. Call it an oversight if you will. You see, Susie C is the most popular girl in middle school. She's what you would call a queen bee. She's pretty, from the fresh box braids in her hair, braces that somehow make her look sweet and not dorky like me, and the dimples in her cheeks. Susie C is what every boy in school goes after. She has magnetic energy, she doesn't fumble over her words or trip over things. I'm sure Susie C has never gotten a giant dimple the size of Big Ben on her forehead at all in her life. She's charitable, she enjoys helping the elderly. A real class act she is. So why did I prank her? Well, Susie C used to be my best friend. For all of the great qualities I just listed about her, there are about 10 worse ones. She can't hold water to save her life. She sneers at me every chance she gets. She ignores me in the hallways. She's made my life a living hell ever since our friendship breakup last summer. Most of all, she's a backstabber. See, I tried to go for like the high school thing, you know. Last summer, we shared a friendship journal. It's something we have been writing about since middle school started. Mostly stupid stuff like who we think is the hottest actor right now. Looking at you, Timothée Chalamet. Or what we didn't like about our mom's Sunday dinner. Spaghetti again. We shared everything together. Divas and diapers we were. I shared my biggest secret in that journal, and Susie sent it all away. So as we can see, me and ChatGPT went to two entirely different things when it came to writing. I wanted mine to be a little bit more lighthearted, a little bit more, I think I tend to go young adult, like coming of age when I'm writing specifically. So something about Susie C, and I don't know where I came up with that name, but it just felt right. So you have to tell me, which one did you like better? Which one did you feel was more appealing to you? Which one you would read if that was something that you would do? And we're gonna go ahead and go on to the next prompt. I really like what I came up with right there. Writing for me, I feel like it just comes naturally in the sense that there's always something for me to say. The opening line, it says, without meaning to, she'd arranged 2 dates for the same evening. We're gonna go ahead and copy and paste that into ChatGPT. We're gonna close it so I don't see anything from ChatGPT. We're gonna do 10 minutes on the clock. I already have some ideas bubbling and rumbling in my head. I know ChatGPT is already finished with theirs, but it is what it is. Without meaning to, she'd arranged 2 days for the same evening in the same place. I have a dress. I'm visualizing a dress that my main character is wearing, so I need to go ahead and Google that. Okay, let me see how could I describe a dress in writing? She's wearing a neckline, black mini dress. This one is a little harder because I have so much I want to say with this, but getting flustered because there's an encounter I want. This is so fun. I'm loving this. Even though y'all are only seeing me tippity type, this is so fun. Oh my god. The one line was awkward encounter. Opening line, without meaning to, she'd arranged 2 days for the same evening. Let's see how they went and let's see how I went. So ChatGPT said, Without meaning to, she had arranged 2 dates for the same evening. Emily sat nervously at a quaint cafe, glancing at her watch anxiously. The cozy ambience around her only heightened the awkwardness as she realized the predicament she had unwittingly created. Across the room, she spotted Mark, the charming architect she had connected with on a dating app. Their conversation had been promising, and she had eagerly agreed to meet him for a casual dinner. However, as the minutes ticked away, Emily couldn't shake the unsettling feeling that she had made a grave mistake. Her phone buzzed, and she hesitated before checking the message. It was from James, a witty journalist she had met at a recent social event. Their shared interest and playful banter had sparked another invitation for a coffee date that very evening. Emily, caught in the whirlwind of her own double-booked schedule, had failed to notice the time clash. As she debated her options, Mark strolled into the cafe, his eyes scanning the room until they locked onto hers. Emily's heart raced and she offered a sheepish smile, feeling the weight of her predicament intensify. "Emily, right?" Mark approached with a warm smile. She nodded. "Yes, hi Mark. I'm so sorry about this. It's just, I've got something unexpected that came up." Mark's brow furrowed slightly, but he remained polite. "No problem. These things happen. Do you need to reschedule or..." Before Emily could respond, her phone chimed again. This time it was a message from James asking if she had arrived at the cafe. Realization of the tangled web she had woven tightened in her chest. I have another commitment right now," Emily stammered, trying to find the right words. "Can we reschedule for another time?" Mark, sensing the awkwardness, nodded understandingly. "Sure, no worries. Just let me know when you're free." As Mark left the cafe, Emily felt a mix of relief and guilt. She took a deep breath, gathering her composure, and sent a message to James, apologizing for the unforeseen circumstances and suggesting a rain check. In the aftermath of the awkward encounter, Emily learned a valuable lesson about the importance of mindful scheduling. As she sipped her coffee alone, she couldn't help but chuckle at the unexpected twists and turns of a dating life. I like what they did with theirs. I think it was too easy. I feel like this moment, this awkward encounter, could be kind of like a rom-com moment. So we're gonna go ahead and read what I wrote, and I didn't get too far because I only had 10 minutes to write. I had it in my head, without meaning to, she'd arranged 2 days for the same evening. It's giving rom-com, it's giving kind of J-Lo movie, if you will. I think I tried to reference that in this, but then I deleted it. So we're gonna go ahead and read it because I'm so excited. Without meaning to, she'd arranged 2 dates for the same evening, in the same place. Mastro's was Linda's go-to restaurant. Their penne alla vodka was to die for. She was on her deathbed and they asked her for her last meal. She would pick this place each and every time. If she could afford it, that is. Mastro's is as fine dining as it gets for Linda. The dimly lit restaurants gives a bougie atmosphere that Linda's always strived for. The tables even have those fancy white tablecloths you see in the movies. Linda is dressed in her best. She's wearing an A-neckline black mini dress, not too slutty and not too prissy either. It hugs her curves just right and makes her feel badass. Her hair is styled perfectly, makeup on point, and all she needs is her date. She sips from the glass of wine, Merlot, as she patiently waits. Her date should be arriving any minute. The moment Linda spots her, her heart skips a beat. Ashley is gorgeous. A complete 10. With her gorgeous brown hair and almond eyes, she's completely out of Linda's league. The host helps Ashley out of her coat and directs her over to Linda's table with the point of his finger. When the two women make eye contact, they share warm smiles. Linda's smile remains as Ashley begins to walk towards her. She's distracted by the sway of her hips and the teasing peak of toned legs as she ambles over. This was going to be good, she hoped. Or not. Tonight she was a promise. Linda was getting what she wanted by any means necessary. She could see something or someone coming up just a few seconds behind Ashley. Another woman. Oh. Her smile quickly fades when she realizes what she's done. January 12th. Olivia, a brunette with more sense than Linda, waves at her and Linda waves back. Ashley mistakes the limp greeting for one of hers and she finally reaches the table. And as she finally reaches the table, she's about to question Linda's change in mood. "Ashley, I'm so sorry." Linda hurriedly apologizes. She mutters a few expletives under her breath before putting on a fake smile. How would this night end for her? Or what? Ashley tilted her head. "Linda, hey," Olivia greeted, skirting past Ashley to kiss the other woman on the cheek. Linda took the kiss gratefully, knowing that this was the most action she would be getting the entire night. "Sorry, I'm a little late. Traffic was terrible." "Oh, that's no problem." Linda could feel herself perspiring as she now had to explain to two women why she invited them on a date in the same night. "What's going on?" Ashley asked. And that's as far as I got. I was thinking more rom-com for mine. I was thinking, how would this happen if they saw each other and if they both like connected with each other and saw that Linda had invited them both? Would they sit down for it? Would they talk? And I wanted to add that because it was going to be a thing like where she tries to convince them both to sit down and try to do that and how that would have worked. But overall, I feel like for this one, I like mine better. I'm biased. I'm gonna like my own things better. I don't know what you guys will pick, but me versus ChatGPT. So far, I feel like ChatGPT is winning with its sophisticatedness in that sense, that it definitely has a greater vocabulary than I do, and some of the story structure is a little better, whereas mine is like first draft. I just wrote it out of my brain, and I'm not gonna diss myself. I think mine is pretty good. I think I like where I'm going with it with each prompt, and we're gonna go ahead and get into the last prompt and see how that feels, how it feels to write the last prompt. And if anybody asks, yes, these are prescription. She opened her handbag and tipped the contents on the floor. Can you write? This one is tough because my brain is going to 17 different places and I don't know where to take them. Oh my goodness, how many minutes do I have left? 5. Okay, I have 2 minutes left on the clock, but I'm gonna give up on this one. Let's get the ChatGPTs. Okay, so the prompt was, she opened her handbag and tipped the contents on the floor. The crowded subway rumbled along its tracks, but the sudden action drew the attention of the passengers nearby. Among the scattered items, a cascade of seemingly mundane objects spilled out. A crumpled notebook, a pair of sunglasses, a few loose coins, and a faded photograph. Amelia, feeling a mixture of frustration and urgency, began frantically searching through the disarray. Her heart raced as she realized that something crucial was missing, something she couldn't afford to lose. The subway's rhythmic hum underscored the tension in the air. A middle-aged man seated nearby raised an eyebrow, curiosity evident in his gaze. "Everything all right, miss?" Amelia nodded, beads of perspiration forming on her forehead. I need to find it. It's important." Without hesitation, a teenage girl who had been standing nearby crouched down to help. "What are we looking for?" "My passport," Amelia admitted, her voice tinged with worry. "I must have dropped it when I took my handbag out." The passengers around them joined in the impromptu search, creating a collective effort to locate the missing passport. The subway car became a hive of shared concern, a stark contrast to the typical anonymity of public transportation. As Amelia sifted through the scattered items, a young man with a backpack noticed the corner of a blue booklet peeking out from underneath the seat. He reached forward and held it up triumphantly. "Is this it?" Relief flooded Amelia's face as she confirmed that indeed her passport had been found. Grateful murmurs of approval and applause rippled through the subway car. The collective effort of strangers had averted a potential travel crisis for Amelia. "Thank you all so much," she said, her voice trembling with gratitude. "I can't believe how lucky I am to have such kind strangers helping me." The subway continued its journey, the camaraderie among passengers lingering even after the brief moment of crisis had passed. As Amelia gathered her belongings, once disrupted subway car resumed its usual rhythm, now carrying a shared sense of connection among those who had come together to help a fellow traveler in need. I kind of liked this. I don't know why my mind went to like rom-com comedy moment, but I guess this could be like a serious, more mundane moment where she's trying to find her passport, and I think ChatGPT did a decent job with that. We're gonna go ahead to me. Okay, so this is my version of the prompt. It says, she opened her handbag and tipped the contents on the floor. Her entire life was in this bag and she was a little embarrassed. People stood around her, some glaring, some disapproving, as she fumbled through the mountain of things. "I'm telling you, I don't steal," she muttered in annoyance. The disgruntled retail worker looked at her with the hand on her hip. "Miss, your bag went off 4 times as you stepped through the metal detectors." The woman, Georgie, if the name tag on her shirt is right, says to her, "It's policy to check." "Right, policy." Maggie shakes her head. She holds up a soggy tissue, courtesy of her crying session from earlier. It's the entire reason for this trip, as she stuffs it back into her bag. She waves the hand over the contents, proving that she doesn't have anything in the bag. "You know, I shop here all the time. I'm practically a frequent flyer," Maggie grumbles as she stuffs all of the contents back in her bag and stands to her feet with slight If that's a thing for stores, what do they call it? "Rewards," a passerby answers for her. "Right, rewards." Maggie mouths a thank you to him gratefully. "I have a credit card that I max out frequently at your store, and this is how you repay me? By accusing me of stealing? That's absurd. It's ridiculous, and..." "Ma'am, what's that on your wrist?" Georgie questioned. Maggie's mouth claps shut as her eyes trail down to her wrist. It's a shiny gold bracelet with the price tag and security sticker dangling from one of the charms. Maggie's eyes widen comically and her mouth forms into the perfect O. This is yours," she finishes lamely. "This is yours. It's an honest mistake." She smiles sheepishly. So let's go ahead and close the laptop. I really enjoyed kind of doing this and seeing how far my own writing has come and what you can do with the prompt and where the brain goes versus where like a computer's brain goes versus what a computer comes up with. I think I don't know, my last prompt, I think I like all of mine. I'm not too sure. I feel like ChatGPT, this one was flawless, but I do see like a rhythm or a pattern that they do have in their writing that might not be as versatile versatile as if you have a writer where you can kind of tell their signature things in their writing, but it's not all the same and it's not using like mostly the same words and things like that. That is it for me in ChatGPT. I think the writing spoke for itself. I want you guys to vote if you've watched this and what do you think. Yeah, I really hope to be writing my own scripts soon. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Subscribe if you enjoyed and want to see more from me, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.